What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about what happened today in the markets. And the Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, gave us today a green day all across the board, with the Russell 2000 going up 1.05%, Nasdaq went up 1.41%, Dow Jones went up 0.51%, and the S&P 500 went up 0.92%. And why? Well, because as I told you guys in yesterday's video, today we had Mr. Jerome Powell testifying in front of the Senate, and he didn't have, the hawkish tone that most bears out there were waiting for. So Mr. Powell said basically that there is no decision yet on the first interest rate hike, nor the reduction of the balance sheet. And you guys know that the main concern of the markets as of now, other than interest rate hikes, is basically the Federal Reserve reducing their balance sheet. That's the main concern of most investors and traders out there. As of now, the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve is at $8.7 trillion. That's a lot of money. And if the Federal Reserve happens to start a process of reduction of its balance sheet, so they are going to be basically selling bonds instead of buying bonds. So that is going to obviously reduce the liquidity of the markets. And if we have less liquidity, then who is going to buy the dips whenever the markets retrace? So that's the main concern. Sorry, guys, of the markets. But Mr. Jerome Powell basically didn't say, anything precise. And we are going to have to wait until the next Federal Open Market Committee that is going to take place on January 25th and January 26th in order to have any confirmation when it comes to interest rate hikes or reduction of the balance sheet. And keep in mind, guys, that tomorrow is going to be a huge day for the markets, because at 8:30 a.m., and I also told you guys this in yesterday's video, we are going to have the CPI data report of December. The reading when it comes to inflation month over month is expected at 0.4%, whereas the reading when it comes to inflation year over year is expected at 7.1%. If that report happens to come out as expected, in line, as I just said, 0.4% month over month, 7.1% year over year, we can make the case that the rally that we are seeing as of now, and mainly because the indices aren't in an overbought condition, could keep on going on. So let's see what happens tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow is going to be, as I just told you guys, a big day, no doubt about it. If we take a look at the advances and declines distribution, we can also conclude that we had a very positive day today, with almost 5,000 stocks going up and only 2,614 stocks going down. And if we take a look at the sectors of the markets, then the best performing sector today by a long shot, guys. I mean, the energy sector went on an absolute tear today, going up 3.05%. However, this is not a very heavy sector inside the indices, or more specifically inside the S&P 500. So we had a positive day today, guys, basically because the most important sector of the markets, the tech sector, went up 1.14%, and the financial sector, another very important sector, went up today 0.58%. Today, the financial sector didn't act correlated to the 10-year Treasury yield. The 10-year Treasury yield went down something like 1.70%, and also the VIX. By the way, the VIX also went down today almost 5%. So the fact that the 10-year Treasury yield went down, that also helped tech stocks and higher multiple stocks in order to go up today. And obviously, guys, if tomorrow we happen to have a way worse than expected CPI data report, then we can expect the 10-year Treasury yield to shoot up and that is going to obviously benefit a lot the trading, the inflation trade. Energy, materials, financials, and so forth, the industrial sector as well. And before going over the indices, I want to show you guys some trades that I closed in today's trading session. United Health, if you remember, I told you in yesterday's video that I got calls of United Health. So today I decided to close this trade. I had a profit of almost 8%, nothing to complain about. Remember, guys, that on January 7th, I purchased the $460 call that expires on April 14. I paid way back then $2,670, and today I decided to close this trade when United Health actually hit an important area of overhead resistance near $468, if I recall correctly. So I sold the call that I bought, and I was paid $2,910. So I ended up making over here something like $240. I also sold a new covered call on AMC Entertainment. Let me show you over here. So let me pull up this trade. I think that I sold, let me see. I sold one covered call today, correct, that expires on June 17. The $47 call, and I was paid $287. And I also sold a covered call on CRISPR Therapeutics. As of now, guys, I own shares of CRISPR Therapeutics. I have an unrealized loss over here of $44. And I also own a call option, a regular call, that expires. When is this call option expiring? This call expires on April 14, the $75 call. I am a bull, needless to say, of CRISPR Therapeutics. So I sold the $75 call that expires on Friday, guys, and I was paid $85. I have absolutely nothing to complain about because my average cost on CRISPR Therapeutics is $73. So if CRSP happens to be above $75 on Friday, I am going to be selling my 100 shares, making a profit of $200 plus $85. This is going to be, for the most part, a $300 profit trade. Nothing to complain about either. And lastly, I sold two covered calls of NEO today. I sold the $35 call that expires on April 14. Sorry, I sold two contracts and I was paid $442. So I ended up making today $1,054 selling covered calls and closing my position on United Health. So I had a very solid day today, lucky enough. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. So the S&P goes up today 0.92%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,713 points. So let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart and take a look at the spot in which the S&P fell today, or the spot in which the bulls weren't able to go any higher. 4,715 points. This is the second gap that I told you guys about in yesterday's video, right at this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So 4715 happens to be a former area of resistance back from December and also back from November. And if we take a look at the RSI of the S&P, it is at 50 points, very healthy. From a technical standpoint, this implies that the S&P is neither oversold nor overbought. So if tomorrow, obviously, guys, we happen to have at least an inline CPI data report, I think that the bulls have a first shot of taking on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart and potentially being able to fill the next gap up to 47.44, which happens to be a former all-time high back from November 22nd. And in the case of the NDX, I don't want to call out, negative, let's say, scenarios for tomorrow, guys. If we happen to have a very worse than expected CPI data report, the S&P is very likely to take a hit, but I don't want to think about that. I want to have a bullish bias today's in this video. Nasdaq 100, phenomenal day, going up 1.47%, and it closed today's trading session at 15,844 points. I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and something that is a bit concerning, guys, and I told you guys about it in yesterday's video, is that we might see tomorrow, or maybe on Thursday, Friday, the latest, the unfolding of a death cross on this 4-hour chart. You guys can see how this 50 SMA is about to cross below this 180 SMA, and this obviously is going to be very, but very detrimental or negative for the bulls of the NDX. In bullish terms, and if obviously tomorrow everything goes at least as expected when it comes to the CPI data report, and if the Nasdaq 100 keeps on going up, then the main task that the bulls need to carry out would be taking on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 16,000 points, which happens to be as well a former area of support back from late November and also back from early November. This would be a very bullish scenario, guys. If tomorrow we happen to have, as I just said, a worse than expected CPI data report, then don't be surprised if the Nasdaq 100 happens to revisit the lows of yesterday's trading session. That would be a possible scenario for tomorrow's trading session. RSI at 47 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. And as I just said in the case of the S&P, the NDX is neither overbought nor oversold. So we have green light in order to keep on going higher depending on whatever the CPI data report shows tomorrow. And the first stock of this video is going to be Virgin Galactic. And in the case of Spce, wow, guys, the stock of this company has gotten absolutely killed. No mercy for Virgin Galactic. This stock went up today 3.51%, and it closed today's trading session at $12.39. As of now, and obviously, guys, we are talking about a speculative company that is on its very, but very early stages of development. So the fact that Virgin Galactic is trading 80% of the highs shouldn't surprise anyone. However, guys, I think that if later on this year, I think that November or December are the months that the management of Spce said that we're very likely to see the first suborbital space flights of this company. So if that were to happen, if this company happens to be able to take people to I think that's the sub-atmosphere or something like that. So I think that Virgin Galactic has a first shot, guys, of being back at least $30 or $40 per share. I actually, guys, grabbed some leaps of Spce. Obviously, this is a very speculative, play that I decided to start on Virgin Galactic. So I purchased the $13 call, or $13 calls, I should say, because I am talking about 2 contracts. So I purchased 2 call options that expire on January 20th of 2023, next year, with a strike price of $13. And as of now, I have an unrealized sorry, guys. I beat my mouth. I have an unrealized return over here of $260. However, I believe that if Virgin Galactic happens to be back, as I just said, into the last months of this year, back at $30 or $40 per share, then obviously these 2 call options are going to be at a way higher price relative to the price that they have as of now. When it comes to taking a short-term trade on Spce, this is a tough one, guys. Clear downtrend. Spce is trading as of now below both moving averages, this 180 SMA and this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So would I think about starting or taking a short-term trade on Virgin Galactic? I might, guys, but I need to see the stock of this company taking on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $14.40. We are also talking about a former area of support back from early May. So, wishful thinking. If Virgin Galactic can take on $14.40 on good volume and momentum, I think that maybe the bulls are going to be able, in the short term, of filling the next gap or the other gap up to $18, which happens to be a former area of support back from late October. If we were able to take a trade like the one that I am describing over here from $14.55, $14.60, up to $18, we are looking at a 20% profit, nothing to sneeze at. So let's see what happens over here, guys. I think that at some point in time, Virgin Galactic is going to reverse this horrible downtrend. And if we happen to take a 20% trade on Spce on its way up, then I am definitely going to be down for it. And the second stock of this video is going to be AMC Entertainment, guys. And in the case of AMC, today is the first anniversary of the Reddit revolution, guys. So I think that what happened a year ago with GameStop and AMC and Bed Bath & Beyond and so forth was very positive. So we had a bunch of hedge shorting these companies and taking advantage of the terrible situation that these companies were going through because of COVID-19. And a lot of hedge funds got absolutely burnt out there, which is something that obviously makes me feel happy. But now the big question is, are AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, and so forth? I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond is maybe a different case. That's that's a company that is in a different situation from a financial standpoint relative to AMC and GameStop. But now the big question is, as I was saying, are these companies going to be able to go back to the $70, $80 in the case of AMC Entertainment, or in the case of GameStop, back at $300, $400? That's a tough one, guys. And in the case of AMC, this stock pretty much broke even today. It went up 0.04% and it closed today's trading session at $22.79. And from a technical standpoint, there's nothing to say over here, guys. This is a very ugly looking chart. We can see a clear downtrending channel on the 4-hour chart. And I'm thinking, guys, that maybe this is wishful thinking over here. I own shares of AMC. So I'm thinking, guys, that if the bulls of AMC can take on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, at the same time, they are going to be taking on the upper line of this descending channel. If that were to happen, I think that the apes or the bulls of AMC have a first shot of filling the next gap up to $28. $28 happens to be a former area of support back from early August. So if we were able to take a trade over here on AMC from, let's say, $25.30 or $25.40 up to $28, we are looking at a 10% profit, guys. So don't sleep on AMC. I know this is a very ugly looking chart, but watch out for the bulls taking on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $25.40 and filling the next gap up to $28. And mind you, guys, the short interest of AMC, and I am not calling out any short squeeze over here and stuff like that, but the short interest of AMC is still being very high. It is above 20%, so anything can happen when it comes to AMC Entertainment. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the third stock of this video, Uber Technologies. Uber went up today 2.39% and it closed today's trading session at $43.62. And take a look at how, guys. Here on the 4-hour chart, we have an ascending triangle, a textbook, I can say, ascending triangle. You guys can see how Uber is uptrending on this 4-hour chart into a huge resistance near $44. So $44 is the upper line of this ascending triangle, but $44 is at the same time a former area of support back from late October and also back from mid-May. So I'm thinking, guys, I'm taking into account that the RSI of Uber is at 57 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. This implies that Uber is neither oversold nor overbought. So I'm thinking that if the bulls can take on $44 on good volume and momentum, they are going to be very likely to be able to fill the next gap up to $48. We are talking about a former area of resistance back from November and October, and also we are also talking about a former area of support back from June. So if we were able to take a trade on Uber from, let's say, $44.20-ish up to $48, we are looking, guys, at an 8% profit trade. So watch out for Uber, and mind you, guys, Uber is going to be reporting earnings in 1 or 2 months or something like that. And I think that Uber is very likely to be able to boast, I don't know, maybe, on the first quarter of this year, maybe the second quarter. But Uber is very likely to, anytime soon, be able to post its first profitable quarter. Whenever that happens, mark my words, the stock of this company is going to fly very, but very high, in my opinion. And the last stock of this video is going to be Microsoft. And in the case of Microsoft, the stock of this company went up today 0.23%, and it closed today's trading session at $314.98. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. And yes, this is not a good looking chart. Obviously, we are talking about a very solid company. I think that Microsoft is reporting earnings on the 25th. By the way, the same day that the Federal Open Market Committee is going to be kicking off. And you guys know that this is a company that usually beats on earnings, so that is something to keep in mind. However, from a trading standpoint, we have a clear downtrend. We can clearly see over here on the 4-hour chart a death cross. You guys can see how this 50 SMA crossed below this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart on January 7th. So Microsoft doesn't look any good over here, guys. However, as of now, MSFT is right below a very important technical area, guys, below $318. We are talking about a former area of support back from December 20th and also back from early December. And at the same time, we are talking about a former area of resistance back from October 26th. So I'm thinking, guys, and taking into account that the RSI of Microsoft is a bit low at 43 points, I'm thinking that if the bulls of MSFT can take on $318 on good volume and momentum, they are going to be able to fill the next gap up to this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $326. $326 is also a former area of resistance back from October 27th. So if we were able to take a trade like the one that I am describing over here from, let's say, $318-ish up to this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $327, we are looking at a 3% profit. And mind you, guys, this is a push to the upside that Microsoft can carry out in one single trading session, no problem. So watch out for Microsoft bursting above $318 per share. And with Microsoft, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays as well, guys. I am not going to be able to keep on posting our stock market update videos on Wednesdays because I am going to be live streaming on Patreon, on my Patreon all day long. So once I am done with my live stream, I am just going to be able to film a video in Spanish, and that's it, guys. I am going to walk away from my studio. So our videos from now on are going to be in English, narrated in English, are going to be on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So however, if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys on Thursday, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.